everyone. This is Brianna Casey, ready to answer the questions for Challenge 1, Autobio Reflection, for my Teaching Strategies course, Education 5153, Week 2. Let's get started. Question 1. Have you encountered any types of stereotypes as an educator? If yes, how did you react to the stereotypes? Yes, I have experienced stereotypes as an educator, mainly centered around my age. For example, I am often told that I am good with kids, connect well with them, and that my smile is contagious. All good things. However, one critique I continuously get from my peers is that I am, quote-unquote, too nice. They describe me as the fun teacher, someone who acts more like a friend than a teacher to my students, and is often afraid to discipline my students because I want them to like me. All of these stem from the stereotype, quote, I am too young to know what I am doing, end quote. As a result, some believe I lack the experience to get my students' attention, deliver effective lessons, or monitor their progress. Many of the faculty I have worked with were much older and had more educational experience than me. Some of them have been teaching as long as I have been alive, which is quite intimidating in my opinion. So when I struggle to gain control of my classroom, I sometimes do wonder, are they right? Am I too young for this? Can I really do this? But then I have to remember, I am a theater person. My goal is to teach theater to kids, which is the whole reason I am trying to pursue a master's in education. Building on the self-reflection of those stereotypes prompt, I see theater as a deeply collaborative subject. Students must work together to deliver an excellent performance, and the teacher must meet them at their level to build connection and earn their trust. While I may not have as much experience in education as my peers, I have been involved in theater since I was 2 years old, which gives me over 20 years of experience as an actor and, more recently, as a set, costume, and projection designer, as well as even as a director. Though I have not taught as long as my peers, I have worked with kids for over a decade, learning how to connect with them, understand their learning styles, and support them with their homework and school projects. I may not be as strict as others teachers. Maybe I am seen as the fun teacher who is too young to understand how to be effective or provide students what they need. However, I have been a student for majority of my life and have experienced many types of teachers, have struggled in classes that used a single method of teaching, and have succeeded when teaching was inclusive. I studied psychology to understand why people act and react as they do, and why students struggle in education. Because it's something that teachers often forget. Students are people. We must be aware of students' emotions in order to help them to learn and grow. This philosophy helps guide my classroom. If that makes me incompetent as a teacher, then so be it. I don't want to become a teacher just to teach. I want to become a teacher to make a difference in my students' lives. I know I am young. I know I am more lenient than others, that I am described as the fun teacher who is too nice for her own good. When I hear these stereotypes, it hurts me. I cannot lie about that. But I try to not let it affect me. I try to not react when teachers pull me aside to critique my performance and tell me I should improve my classroom management. Sometimes I take their advice and try to put my foot down more to ensure I keep my students' attention. But more often than not, being too strict with my students comes with more consequences than benefits. So I smile and nod, let the teachers have her say, then go back to my classroom and do my own thing. Because this is my class, and it's a safe place for my students. It's a place where they can get in touch with their feelings, build learning through experience, and participate in active lessons, and understand that it is okay to be themselves, even when others try to judge you. Question 2. Do you think the vast growth of new media platforms are helping clarifying these stereotypes or making the situation worse? Regarding whether the rapid growth of social media clarifies or worsens stereotypes, I believe it is more complex than it seems. Technology's expansion, especially through social media, has both positive and negative impacts on teacher stereotypes. I have seen posts that can break down stereotypes held by faculty, students, and parents. Today, technology lets us access the world instantly and view a teacher's posted lessons, allowing us to see their students' excitement firsthand through a screen. For example, one teacher on TikTok, Jess Zhu, also known as inspo_by_Jess, encourages her third grade students to be creative by having them design their very own Squishmallow, a very popular stuffed animal. Jess will pick a random student's design and then make the stuffed animal herself, later revealing it to her class. She likes to build suspense in her videos by hiding the toy in a box and giving her students clues to guess whose design it is. Then she would reveal the Squishmallow and give it to the student who originally designed it. Jess's videos show how social media can highlight teachers breaking stereotypes. Her creative assignments encourages students to use their imagination, making them feel valued. Jess proves that a fun, engaging teaching style fosters a positive classroom environment, helping students feel motivated to learn. However, I have also seen technology reinforce stereotypes and, at times, even encourage them, leading more people to believe they are true. Unfortunately, while there is good in the world, negativity tends to spread much faster. When you watch new trends on TikTok or Instagram, they almost always have conflict at their core. I have seen countless social media videos in which teachers are portrayed as too strict and are often mocked. One creator, Tom Eggleton, or Teacher Tommy T, comes to mind. For the record, I like his videos. They are funny and occasionally accurate. However, he often leans into melodramatic, exaggerated situations to attract more likes and comments in his videos. For those who are unfamiliar, Tom shares short, fictional skits about his experiences as a teacher. He never shows his students' faces, but pretends to be them, playing roles like the class clown, popular girl, or smart kid. In his videos, Tom presents himself as the fun teacher, making jokes and references to current media to get his class to like him. Though amusing, these videos rarely show him educating his students or using his connections to help them better understand lessons. He portrays himself as the quote-unquote cool teacher, letting students slack off, watch movies, rather than read or write. Many videos show Tom roasting students and making fun of them in class. These jokes and videos are likely fictional, and no students are depicted, but his portrayal of the fun teacher reinforces stereotypes about similar teachers in the real world. Additionally, Tom's portrayal of stricter teachers, especially the headmaster he plays, frames his colleagues in a villainous light and enforces the stereotypes that teachers, especially English teachers, can be overly strict. This can be proven in a video where most teachers let students watch Christmas movies or play dodgeball during Christmas break. Meanwhile, the English teacher makes you write an essay, which no one wants to do that. As with most things, there are both good and bad sides to the story. While some content supports teachers, negative portrayals seem to dominate social media, as audiences usually prefer drama over genuine feel-good stories. Question 3. Think about your students breathing naturally in the Web 2.0 era, immersed in social media. What kind of challenges are we facing in supporting their intellectual and social-emotional development? We live in a world where technology shapes nearly every aspect of our lives. Technology's rapid expansion means children now interact, learn, and connect in fundamentally different ways than previous generations. While social media is still a relatively new development emerging only in the last 30 years, it has drastically changed how people, especially students, develop relationships and seek entertainment. Unlike today's students, I grew up in the early 2000s, balancing advances in technology with opportunities for in-person interaction. My parents forced me to play outside, while I also got to watch the iPhone be made. Children today, however, are often immersed in technology from an early age, relying on devices for constant entertainment. This shift raises a significant concern. Social media, as a dominant force in children's lives, is fundamentally altering how they think, learn, and socialize, often at the expense of their ability to entertain themselves and fully engage in real-world experiences. Because of social media, children's perception of the world is changing dramatically. Asmi Kanana, 2024, states in her article that constant cell phone distractions negatively impact children's intellectual development and attention spans. She reports that 31% of high school students lose focus in class due to cell phone use, and that most can't do homework without additional media distractions. Kahana, 2024. As seconds pass, students grow more addicted to social media, further harming their attention spans. In an interview with the American Psychological Association, Gloria Mark explains that the global attention span shrank from 2.5 minutes in 2004 to just 47 seconds in recent years. Mark, as cited in Kahana 2024. Social media conditions viewers to expect quick amusement. If a video isn't entertaining within the first 5 seconds, they scroll on. With such short attention spans, how are we as teachers supposed to keep students engaged and help them think deeply without constant screen stimulation? Another problem arising from social media's expansion is concern about students' social and emotional development. Bullying has become more accessible as the technology evolves. Previously, teachers could supervise students and address bullying in school, but now students face the possibility of being targeted online as well. With usernames and fake profiles, people can mock others anonymously. They're able to hide behind their fake personas and not receive any consequence. Negative comments and online trolling can harm mental health. Shobha Srinivasan and Linda E. Weinberger, 2023, I'm so sorry if I said those names wrong, shared that technology has advanced so much that social media enables taunts, name-calling, disclosure of personal information, and false statements to reach wide audiences, which means that people are not only humiliated online, they're humiliated in front of thousands of people. Once posted, such content is difficult to erase. Social media can expose students to negative experiences affecting both their emotional development and their psychological development, leading to isolation of students. Cyberbullying is serious and should not be taken lightly. Student secrecy around social media makes it even harder for teachers to catch cyberbullying, hence why we need to be vigilant. Negative self-thoughts resulting from these experiences can lead to anxiety, depression, and, in worst cases, suicide. Although technology has potential benefits for students and their futures, I believe it can be more harmful than helpful, especially with social media. As teachers, we need to be aware of our students' use of technology and find ways to help them adapt their thinking to use it as a beneficial tool for learning rather than a mindless form of entertainment. We must be cautious of how social media can drain our students' minds, shortening their attention spans, and how posts and comments can have a negative impact on a student's mental health. We cannot hide children from technology, but neither should we step aside and allow them to be consumed by it. We must find a way to help them control their own technology use, learn to safely interact with social media, and use technology as the tool it was meant to be, rather than another obstacle standing in the way of our students' success. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye-bye.